Welcome to Vintage Touch Decor with Soul. If you love blending vintage charm with modern functionality, you're in the right place. Today, we'll explore how Nancy Meyers' iconic home design style combines these two elements to create spaces that feel both nostalgic and current. From the coziness of vintage pieces to the sleekness of modern furniture, we'll uncover design secrets that bring timeless appeal into your home. Nancy's design philosophy emphasizes comfort, beauty, and purpose. By combining old-world elegance with contemporary elements, she shows us how to make the past feel relevant in today's homes. Whether it's through vintage lighting, soft textures, or carefully curated furniture, we'll help you embrace these secrets in your own home. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to integrate vintage chic into your living space while maintaining modern functionality. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment with your thoughts on how you blend vintage into your home. Nancy Meyers is known for creating spaces that feel effortlessly stylish and inviting. Her homes are a blend of vintage charm and modern functionality, designed with heart and soul. The magic lies in her ability to mix old and new, creating a timeless yet fresh look. Whether you're in a cozy cottage or a sleek apartment, her designs feel warm, lived in, and authentic. Her approach emphasizes comfort as much as beauty. It's not about filling a room with expensive items, it's about selecting pieces that tell a story. From vintage antiques to contemporary furniture, each item is chosen for its ability to enhance the overall aesthetic while maintaining functionality. This approach makes her designs approachable and relatable for all types of spaces. By channeling the Nancy Meyers touch, you can create a home that feels both timeless and modern. This blend of vintage and contemporary elements allows for a space that doesn't feel stuck in the past but still carries with it a sense of history and charm. Incorporating vintage elements into modern spaces adds layers of character and depth. It's not just about bringing in old furniture, it's about finding pieces that add personality and evoke a sense of history. Whether it's an antique mirror, a vintage lamp, or a retro coffee table, these items can be effortlessly integrated into contemporary spaces, creating a unique fusion of past and present. The key is balance. While vintage elements can anchor a space with their rich history, modern furniture can provide the sleekness and functionality needed for everyday living. This combination allows you to tell a story through your decor, blending practicality with the charm of days gone by. When thoughtfully placed, vintage pieces don't overwhelm. They complement modern design. A well-chosen antique item can serve as a focal point in a minimalist room or add contrast to an otherwise sleek, contemporary space. This blend gives your home a timeless quality that never feels out of place, no matter the era. When creating a space that blends vintage chic and modern functionality, choosing the right furniture is essential. Signature pieces, like a vintage armchair or a sleek modern sofa, can set the tone for the entire room. The goal is to find furniture that not only looks stylish but also provides comfort and practicality. The beauty of vintage furniture lies in its craftsmanship, and when paired with contemporary designs, it adds a sense of history and depth to your space. For a timeless design, consider pieces that have a story to tell. A mid-century modern coffee table with clean lines or an antique dresser with intricate detailing can be the focal point of your room. These items act as anchors for the space, grounding the design and adding personality. Mix and match different styles, but always focus on balance to ensure harmony between old and new. Modern furniture often emphasizes function, but vintage pieces offer a unique opportunity to infuse character into the room. Whether it's the curved lines of a vintage sofa or the warmth of a wooden dining table, these elements can make your space feel more lived in and welcoming. The key is to find furniture that speaks to your personal style while remaining functional for your needs. Mixing modern and antique styles is an art form that requires a careful balance. The key is to avoid overwhelming the space with either style but instead allow them to complement each other. Antique pieces bring history, texture, and character, while modern elements offer a clean, streamlined feel that adds functionality. Together, they create a harmonious and dynamic environment where both styles feel at home. One of the best ways to blend these styles is through contrast. For example, pair a sleek, modern sofa with an antique side table or position a vintage rug beneath a contemporary dining table. This contrast draws attention to both the past and the present, creating a balanced space that doesn't feel forced. The juxtaposition of clean lines with intricate designs allows each piece to shine. Another effective approach is to let color and texture be your guide. Modern furniture often has simple, neutral colors, while antique pieces are more likely to feature bold patterns and rich, warm tones. By introducing vintage textures, such as an antique velvet armchair or a rustic wooden coffee table, you can add layers of depth and visual interest to a modern space. The goal is to celebrate the contrast, not fight it. Lighting is one of the most important elements when blending vintage and modern styles. It has the power to set the mood, highlight key design features, and enhance the overall ambience of your space. In a room that mixes vintage and modern elements, consider using layered lighting to create depth and warmth. Pendant lights or chandeliers with a vintage design can serve as statement pieces, while softer, more contemporary lighting can ensure the space remains comfortable and inviting. To create the right atmosphere, focus on lighting that complements both the vintage and modern elements in the room. Natural light is a great way to bring out the beauty of antique furniture, as it highlights the textures and fine details of each piece. In contrast, modern lighting solutions, such as LED fixtures, can offer energy efficiency while still adding a sleek, contemporary touch. Layering both styles of lighting can give the room a balanced and inviting glow. The key to lighting vintage modern spaces is understanding the function of each light source. Task lighting, like reading lamps, provides focused light for specific tasks, while ambient lighting sets the general mood of the room. Accent lighting, such as spotlights or wall sconces, can draw attention to vintage artwork or architectural details. This thoughtful approach to lighting ensures every corner of the room feels intentional and cohesive. Creating a warm and inviting atmosphere in a room that blends vintage and modern elements starts with the right color palette. Soft, neutral tones like beige, ivory, and light gray provide a calm, timeless foundation that works well with both vintage and contemporary pieces. These subtle shades allow the intricate details of antique furniture to stand out while still complementing the sleek lines of modern designs. By layering rich hues, like deep blues, warm browns, and earthy greens, you can create depth and warmth in the space. Vintage-inspired colors, like muted pastels or deep jewel tones, add a nostalgic touch, while modern accents like matte black or metallic gold can bring an element of sophistication. For instance, consider pairing a vintage floral patterned rug with a modern charcoal sofa to create an interesting contrast. The key is to use these rich colors sparingly and thoughtfully, allowing them to highlight key elements without overwhelming the space. Another way to balance color is through texture and layering. A plush velvet throw in a rich burgundy or a weathered leather armchair can add warmth and tactile richness to the room. Combining these tactile elements with solid, contemporary furniture creates an inviting and well-rounded color scheme. The goal is to evoke a sense of warmth and comfort, making the space feel lived in and welcoming. Textures play a crucial role in achieving a balance between vintage and modern styles. In a space that incorporates both, it's important to layer different textures to create a tactile richness that enhances the design. For example, pairing the smoothness of a modern leather sofa with the rough-hewn texture of an antique wooden coffee table adds visual interest and depth. The combination of smooth, sleek surfaces with rougher, more tactile elements creates a space that feels grounded and inviting. When working with textures, think about both the visual and physical sensations each material evokes. Soft fabrics, such as velvet or linen, are great for adding comfort and luxury, while harder textures, like metal or stone, offer a modern edge. Consider adding a vintage wool throw or a modern linen pillow to a sofa for a contrast that speaks to both eras. Mixing these textures helps create a multi-layered experience that feels both timeless and current. Another way to bring texture into the space is through flooring and wall coverings. A wooden floor with a distressed, rustic look pairs beautifully with sleek, modern furniture. For the walls, consider a textured wallpaper with a vintage pattern or a minimalist concrete accent wall. The key is to allow the textures to work together, allowing the space to feel cohesive while celebrating the contrasts between the old and new. When combining vintage and modern elements, one of the key challenges is achieving a functional layout that still feels elegant and inviting. The beauty of Nancy Meyers' design lies in her ability to create spaces that are both practical and visually appealing. Begin by focusing on the flow of the room. Make sure that the furniture placement allows for easy movement, while also highlighting the character of both vintage and modern pieces. For example, a vintage armchair can be placed next to a sleek, modern sofa to create an inviting seating area without disrupting the room's flow. The placement of key furniture pieces should emphasize the room's functionality while also showcasing the design style. Think of your layout as an opportunity to balance elegance and ease. A dining table in the center of the room, surrounded by a mix of vintage and modern chairs, allows for both style and practicality. The goal is to create an environment that not only looks beautiful but also functions for everyday living. In addition to furniture, consider the use of multifunctional pieces that serve both design and practical purposes. For instance, a vintage trunk can double as both a coffee table and extra storage, while modern shelving units can house decorative objects while keeping the room tidy. When designing with both vintage and modern elements, the layout should allow each piece to shine, creating a harmonious space that is both usable and visually pleasing. A cozy nook can transform any room into a welcoming retreat, and it's one of the key elements of creating a home with both elegance and comfort. Whether it's a reading corner, a window seat, or a tucked-away lounge area, creating a nook allows you to incorporate both vintage and modern pieces in a more intimate setting. Start with a comfortable chair, perhaps an antique armchair or a modern upholstered one, and add soft textiles like plush pillows or a throw blanket. Layering textures in a nook helps create a space that feels warm and inviting, perfect for relaxing. To add a touch of vintage charm, incorporate elements like an antique side table, a vintage lamp, or a framed photograph from a bygone era. These small touches tell a story and infuse the space with personality. Combine these pieces with modern lighting fixtures, such as sleek pendant lights or minimalist floor lamps, to maintain a balance between vintage charm and contemporary design. The key to creating a cozy nook is to make it feel personal and lived in, with elements that reflect both your style and the timeless charm of the space. Finally, consider the placement of your nook. It should feel like a secluded spot within a room, but not too isolated. Place your cozy corner near a source of natural light, perhaps by a window with soft, flowing curtains, or in a corner where the light gently highlights the furniture. A well-lit nook creates an inviting space to unwind, read, or simply enjoy a quiet moment in the midst of a busy home. One of the most compelling aspects of Nancy Meyers' design philosophy is the sense of storytelling through decor. Every item in a room should feel like it belongs there, telling a piece of the home's story. Vintage pieces, like family heirlooms, antique furniture, or cherished keepsakes, are ideal for weaving a personal narrative into your space. These items don't just serve a functional purpose, they carry memories and character. Displaying personal photographs, books with worn spines, or souvenirs from meaningful travels will make your home feel as though it's lived in and loved. Incorporating storytelling into your home decor can also be as simple as choosing pieces that reflect your personality and style. For example, modern art pieces might sit alongside vintage frames or textiles, creating an eclectic feel that tells the story of your journey. These personal touches evoke emotion and depth in the design, allowing the space to feel like a reflection of you. The most successful designs are those that feel authentic and true to the person who inhabits them. The beauty of decorating with personal touches is that it invites conversation and connection. Visitors will notice and inquire about the items that carry significance, creating opportunities for sharing stories and memories. By integrating your own history into the design, the space transforms into more than just a home. It becomes a visual narrative of your life. Whether it's a family portrait, a vintage collection, or a memory-laden trinket, each personal item adds layers of meaning to the overall design. As we conclude our exploration of Nancy Meyers' home decor secrets, it's clear that the blend of vintage chic and modern functionality is not just a design choice, but a lifestyle. By incorporating timeless elements, you can create a home that feels both sophisticated and cozy, balancing beauty with everyday practicality. Whether you're drawn to the elegance of antique furniture or the sleek simplicity of modern pieces, remember that your space should reflect your personal story. The key to creating a truly timeless home is in the details, the textures, the colors, and the careful balance of old and new. Don't be afraid to mix vintage finds with contemporary designs, as this fusion is what gives a home its soul. Incorporate lighting that enhances atmosphere, choose functional layouts, and create intimate nooks that invite you to relax and unwind. Every corner of your home should feel like a part of your personal narrative. We hope these design tips inspire you to bring your own vision to life, merging the past and present in a way that feels both modern and timeless. If you've enjoyed this guide, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more design tips and inspiration. Your dream home, filled with vintage charm and modern elegance, is just around the corner.